Thank you everyone for coming. Good morning. Happy last day of ETCC. Sorry for the wait. I'm here to talk about a topic that I think isn't talked about enough, or even when talked about isn't very honest when it comes to on-chain trading. So just a quick poll here. Who here trades on a centralized exchange? Just a quick show of hands. Lovely. Thank you. And who here trades on a decentralized exchange? Sweet. And for those of you who don't trade, hopefully this is still interesting to you and you get something to take away from it. So wanted to walk through what that experience looks like on both of those centralized and decentralized exchanges. And so on the left here, I have Coinbase's experience, and then on the right, it's Matcha, but honestly, a lot of DeFi looks like this today. And the experience, at least from a UI perspective, looks very similar. Both of them had the same concept of what you would get when you execute this trade. Both give you what you're selling and what you're buying. But one more quick poll here is, when was the last time, have any of you ever checked what you got versus what you were quoted? Okay, got a couple. Kudos to you. And then the other common element within the trading experience is this big call to action of placing your order. What you're expecting is once you do it, it's going to happen. But one last question I have is, how many of you had a revert experience in the last month? Okay, quite a few. So yeah, I think to me, in TradFi, both of these aspects of getting what you see as well as executing every transaction that you want to do, we're calling that execution quality, is guaranteed. But in DeFi, that isn't. And I think that's something that we should talk about more and really hold ourselves to a higher standard. There's no reason we should get something that isn't what we're promised, and there's no reason why we should have very high revert rates. We all want the same thing, and we should have the experience on DeFi be able to match what we're expecting. And so we at 0x, we do DEX aggregation, and so trading is very core of what we do. And this is a problem that we think should be addressed more. And so there's really one big thing that we do at 0x that deals with this. And kind of killing two birds with one stone is that we do quote simulation on default. You can think of it as every API response gets fact-checked. What you're seeing is as honest as we can give you what we think you can get. The very quick TLDR of how we do that is we're simulating what we are calculating at the top of the current block. And it's an ETH call with some magic here and there just to make sure that everything can execute and that we can catch issues before they happen. And the benefits that we think this brings both to our developers and then their users is that it is an accurate response. The buy amounts, the gas limit that we're telling you to set is all based on what we think is actually going to happen on chain. And we think that leads to lower revert rates because we're catching these issues before it happens. We're letting you know if you have an allowance or balance issues for your user. The routes are checked to make sure that liquidity actually exists and that it will behave as we think it will. And then both the buy amount affects the min amount that you're going to set. And so we should be running into less slippage issues, and we should never be setting too low of a gas limit and ended up being reverting due to out of gas. So that's the main thing that we do. We think that it really benefits that trading experience. And so what can devs do for their users across the industry? The first thing is they could try to simulate it themselves and kind of do all this work that we're doing. Call out a couple of our integrators who do it. It's a pretty small list, and I think that list of names should be a lot longer. Or the alternative is just to use us. We're already doing this work for you, and skip the step of making extra ETH calls yourself. And so kind of circling back to this trading experience, right? This is what it looks like today. A better one would really address those two issues of what you see is what you get, and that every trade will succeed. But that also got us thinking of what is an even better trading experience, right? You're probably looking for the best price you can get, and so we started to just skeleton something out. We want to probably keep that main UI component the same, keep that familiarity, but we're also going to check why not check other sources? There's obviously a lot of other great teams out there. Why not see what they can get? But at the same time, don't necessarily trust them and simulate what their responses are. And so we did build it. And this is just a little sneak peek of what we'll announce later this year. We are going to have an upcoming product called Matcha Meta. And so we very much took all those elements and put it in UI, plus a couple other additional features that we think really enhances the user experience and makes trading on DeFi more like CeFi. The first thing that we have is user opt-in simulation mode. So if you see on that top right, there's a little simulation badge. And what this does, if this is enabled, is that every quote that we receive from us, as well as other providers, go through that same simulation step that we do on 0x API. And this shows everything from what the simulated amount, buy amount is, the amount of gas that it will take, as well as highlighting reverts that might happen. And so whether you're trying to trade a large amount, or you're trying to trade a virtuals token that we all know is a fee on transfer, or it's the newest Zora post coin, you should be seeing exactly what you get. And so reverts will be shown ahead of time, saving you the cost of executing a transaction that won't even land. And also showing you which aggregators have some fun routes. The other big thing that we're doing here related to this talk is that on every post-trade toast, we are showing you that information that you probably aren't checking, which I think in the earlier question, there were maybe 3 of you who did. Honestly, even a higher number than I was expecting. And we are showing you what you were quoted, what we had simulated, and what actually ended up settling on chain. This way, we should constantly remind ourselves, given the state of this dishonesty, that hey, this is what's actually happening. And so using this product, we've also been collecting a ton of data on these things that we think are relevant to trading experience. So the first thing that we're collecting is simulation revert rates. This is a chart of on all chains across, I guess, the 3-month period that we've been in closed beta. And the blue line is us, and then in the purple line is the other providers that we have integrated. And you'll see that other integrators actually have quite a few quotes that they'll return that actually revert just in simulation. This is it broken out by chain. I will say there's obviously a little bias here. This simulation mirrors what we do. So we shouldn't be failing these, but we also don't expect other providers to be failing it. And so we think there's more that can be done here. The next thing that we're tracking is the difference between what was quoted and what we simulated. And so the ideal here is that everything is on the 0 line. There's no deviation between what you see and what we think you can get. But obviously, blocks change, the state changes, and so the routes aren't always perfect. So we don't expect it to be 0, but it shouldn't be very large either. And so breaking it up by chain, overall on Ethereum, you see that there's, at least with 0x, we're quite honest, and what we think is, what we simulate is close to what we are quoting. I think the ideal trading experience is actually for these dots to be on the positive side, because it means that what we think you can get is even more than what you were quoted. And so the last thing that we're tracking here is the quoted amount minus the settled amount. And again here, ideally, you are getting the best experience is getting even more than what you're shown. And so breaking it by chain, we have this data. If any of you are interested in this and digging more into it, please find me off stage. We are going to be talking more about this within Matcha Meta as well. And so yeah, that's the upcoming product for anyone who wants to trade, hopefully, and see more honest, a more honest UI. This will be the one for you. And so public release is coming soon. But for those who want a sneak peek, that is the URL that you can find it at. And there's an invite code that works for the first 20 people. And then after that, you'll just have to find one of us at our booth. And we'll talk to you and see if we, see if Matcha Meta is the right thing for you. And so this all kind of circles back to this trading experience. Right now, there is a difference. Even though the UIs look very similar, the reality of it and going through it is not the same between trading on a centralized exchange and trading on DeFi. If we want to get more people to end up trading on-chain, I think we need to improve this experience a lot more. It's always frustrating to get a revert. It's always frustrating to not get exactly what you think you're going to get. And so, yeah, that's all I have for right now. Thank you. There's a QR code for our link tree overall at 0x. And then just some quick me. I'm Eric. I'm a PM on the API. So work with a lot of our engineers on our routing, on our simulations. And you find me at Uwaka Flocka on most channels. Thanks.
Thank you, Eric. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
One question, what is coming? Is it that comparison of the other aggregators? So is that one already live, the normal trading API? And that already includes the simulation? So only just the right part is not yet live?
Correct. What's coming soon is this new trading UI within Matcha. But today, all 0x API quotes are simulated, and so what you're getting in our responses is honest truth. Same with the normal Matcha product, it's powered by 0x. So what you see should be what you get, but what we're doing here is adding other providers in there and kind of seeing what they can do.
Okay, thank you.
Any question? Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Eric.
Thanks, everyone.